Hey, hi all. Welcome back to BR Knowledge Center. So in this session, we'll look at the data types of Go language. So what are the data types available in Go language? Okay, let me quickly get into this and explain in the notepad so that you will have an idea on that. So basically, we have several data types in Go language as like other programming languages had. So basically, data type refers to an extensive system used for declaring a variables or functions or different type of constants. So the type of variable determines how much space it occupies in the storage and how the pattern stored in interpreted. Okay, so the data types are main need for a programmer to declare a variable because based on the data type, so the programmer is going to be declare a variable, and that variable is being taking a value from the your inputs and then store into memory based on the data type you are declaring it in the program. So that the data type is going to be decides how much space it is allocated for the relevant related variable, and based on that, the value is being stored in the storage. Okay, so there are a couple of data types in Go language, and first one is kind of Boolean types. So where it stores, again, kind of Boolean types consist of two predefined constants, true or false. So I can say Boolean types. So they are Boolean types and consist of two predefined constants, that is true and false. Okay, and next one is numeric types. These are another category of data types in the Go language after the Boolean type. So, and we can say this is a numeric types or number related data types. So these are the, again arithmetic types, and they represents integer types and floating types and uh, decimal types throughout the program. So based on kind of program and the value as saving it or storing it in the variable, it's being decided based on the numeric types. Okay, so I can say that again, it represents kind of one is integer types, and second one is kind of floating points. That means decimal value throughout the program. Okay, so these are the two types it represents in the numeric types. And coming to the next one was string types. These are another category of data types Go language supports. So a string type represents a set of string values. Its a value is a sequence of bytes. So strings are immutable types, and that's once created, it is not going to be deleted or modified. So these string types we can see in the next session, like what are the string types it is supporting by Go language. So these represents string data types represents basically. So it represents the set of string values. So its value is a sequence of bytes. The strings are immutable types. That is, once created, it is available throughout the program. So next types of data types was uh, derived types. So this includes pointer types and array types and structure types and union types. Some of the function types and slice types, interface types. There's some of the derived data types. These are basically using it. So you can see that pointer types and array types and structure types and union types, and the last one is function types sometimes, or you say slice types also comes under these derived types. So these are the derived types we have in Go language, and we can use this based on the need in your program. Again, so once it comes to integer, so a numeric types, if you look at it represents these types. If you look at integer types, again, we have a lot of integer types, we have it. So integer types are, so there are a couple of integer data types we have it, simply u int 8 and again u int 16 and u int 32 and u int 64. So these are the unsigned 8-bit integer type. First one 16-bit, 32-bit, 64-bit. So basically it depends on the range of value you are storing it. If you look at u int 8, so this is something unsigned 8-bit integer. Similarly, 16, 32, and 64. This range is something to 0 to 255. And again, when it comes to 16, I think 0 to 65535, and 32 is something 4 to 94, 967 to 95. So it's something about, it's increasing the type of, increasing the range of your space in the memory, which can be, allotted for your variable if you declare the relevant data type as part of integer. So after this u int 64, and we'll start int 16, okay, and again it has int 32, and again it has int 64. Okay, so again 64, again the kind of a signed 8-bit, signed 16-bit integer. I think we have int 8 also. It's a signed 8-bit. Above or unsigned, these are signed things. So you can save signed 8-bit integers based on the kind of size you want. Signed 8-bit integer. Let us say this range would be, same thing like minus 128 to 127. So above one or unsigned, because just having signed minus or plus. But here you can save minus 128 to 127. That means the minus or plus, negative or positive values. And again, int 16, int 32, int 64, each and every data type is having its own range. And I think int 16 is having almost minus 32768 to 32767. And 32 again, it's kind of large value 214748364822147483647. And 64 again, it's an exponential part, so it's the large value. And if you want to save it, large value, as in go for int 64, it's similar to long type. Okay. And coming to the float types, we have a couple of float types in Go language. And again, it starts with the float 32 and the float 64. And this is something, adding it a character, and based on that, you will be defining your variable. So float also having several things, 64 and 32, and again it is almost, it's basically depends on the value of saving it. So if you look at here 32, I think if you want to save it something called, exponential value or decimal value point numbers from 32-bit floating point numbers. then go for float 32. And if you go for saving the 64 signed integer or floating point number with exponent or decimal points like uh, 754 or something, just uses 64 float data types. So and also we have other stuff, complex 128 and complex 64. So these are complex numbers with 432 real and imaginary parts. If you want to save it, you use complex data types like complex 64 and complex 128. So these are to store the complex numbers. Okay. And coming to the other kind of numeric types we have in Go language, like, simple byte, which can be same as u int 8. So, and again, we have u int, which is again similar to that to 64 bits of u int. And again, int we have, this is similar to size, u int. And again, u int pointer, ptr. So it is an unsigned integer to store the uninterrupted bits of pointer value. So these are some of the other numeric data types. So based on the program need, you use all these data types. Okay. So these are all about data types available in Go language. So not only Go language, any language if you take. So data type basically makes a having a good role in program, because based on the data type only your program is going to be stored in the memory, and saying no it takes how much space and how much faster when you run a program, and it all depends on the declaration of data type for the variables. And we'll see like variables in the next session, like how to declare a variable and how it is assigning a relevant data type in the Go language, and how it is allocating a memory in the the memory space for the declared variables, which relates to the relevant data types. So these are the Go language data types, and I hope you understand how many data types we have in Go language as like other programming languages, and how to use these variables or data types in Go language. We'll see in the next session. So thanks for listening to this video, and please subscribe this channel for more videos. Thank you.